We go. Okay, dokie. Time to get my special guest on today's show. We've got Annie Dressner. She's here in the UK. I'm delighted to have you on my show. And how are you today, first of all?
I'm very well, thank you. As we pointed out, there's a blue sky, so that's pretty nice.
Peaceful, isn't it? Yeah, about time where we head into like the spring makes everyone a bit more chirpier.
Definitely.
That's great. And I wanted to get you on the show because, I support independent artists and, musicians. It's quite hard now for, established acts, to get their music heard and so on. That's why we do what we do here. But my first question always kind of asks, throwing it back to the start, where did your journey into music commence? Like, including like your musical background, and do you remember when you first sung on stage and so on?
Well, I have played piano since I was like 4 years old. Interestingly, I don't really play it like with my music, so I might change that. But my father is a music. He plays piano really well. He's a musician. His mother played in orchestras, played violin for her whole life. His father um, had like published music and used to work in radio. And so there's a lot of music in my family. And so I spent a lot of time singing, mostly with my father playing the piano when he got home from work for forever, really. And I started off wanting to do theater and I really liked singing. And then when I moved away from theater, I realized that yeah, I just really liked singing and performing. And so I started to write my own songs. Actually, I taught myself guitar the night that I graduated from high school. And there had been a guitar in my house like my whole entire life that I hadn't really ever taken notice of until that night. And I taught myself how to play from the tablature of my dad's Simon and Garfunkel piano book and learned Homeward Bound and a couple other things. And then, yeah, just sort of started to write songs from there. But I think what I've realized is that I've always been making up songs while I'm singing. And I think it's how I've processed like my own emotions and the world around me forever. It just wasn't in being done in a deliberate way, but I think I've always done it.
Brilliant. So thanks for sharing a little bit about your musical background. And were you self-taught as well? You mentioned that you kind of like taught yourself on the guitar. You didn't really need like guitar lessons or tuition.
I maybe need guitar lessons, but I've never had guitar lessons. Yeah, I just taught myself chords and learned some songs. And one of my friends from college gave me a guitar lesson once. So I used to practice like do, but like that's the only thing. And I had that one lesson. That's a lie. I had another lesson once, like years later, and then that was it. So I haven't really had
Yeah.
lessons.
So it's fair to say being a singer, musician was always a passion you wanted to do.
Yeah, I really like to sing and perform. So I would say
Right.
so.
And would you say you've done this kind of like full time in your life, or have you had like other occupations, along the way in your life? Or
I used to, when I was, so I'm from New York City and I've been living in England for 13 years. And when I was in New York, I worked as an assistant to a photographer and filmmaker named Neil Leifer, who took many of the sports photographs that you'd recognize. And when working for him, while working for him, I did some producing on some short films. So I did that as my job, but at the same time, I was still wanting to pursue music. And then since moving to England, I've primarily focused on music, and I have two kids, so I spent many years being at home with them and still writing and recording. Um, and so yeah, I've pretty much been doing music. I also do photography as well. But yeah, so that's
that's
kind of
great.
who I
You've
am.
always been kind of in the artistic circle then.
Yeah, I went to an interview, a few interviews, while still in New York for some quite high up corporate job kind of things, and it wasn't where I think I'd be happy. Um, in some ways, I think it would be great if I could be happy in a position like that because it's a more stable way
Mm.
of earning a living. But I don't think I've ever, I mean, I first wanted to be an actor and then a musician or photographer. So yeah, I just don't think that the things that I like to do put me into an
Mm.
office.
Yeah. So follow your passion if you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I feel lucky that I'm able to do.
That's good. And one of the reasons I kind of invited you on this show is to chat about your new single. If I stand correct, it's called For the Thrill of It. What does the song paint a picture for the listener?
Well, I think as a song, it can stand alone on its own. It's just like a list of minor kind of transgressions that one would do. Like the lyrics, the first two lines are, do you touch art at museums? Do you smudge window panes? And then it goes, do you pull threads out of sweaters just to break them? And the chorus is, you do it for you're doing it for the thrill of it. And so I think as a song on its own, it sounds quite fun. The reason I wrote the song was as a response to sexual harassment. And I actually wrote two songs that day, one more in the style of which I would normally write, which is more from like a personal kind of narrative perspective. But then I was just kind of feeling annoyed. And so I was still like playing on my guitar and I was just thinking like, yeah, like why would somebody do something like this? Like, oh, like do you touch art at museums? Do you do these things? So I wrote it from that perspective and then it just kind of turned into a song. And I sent it to a friend of mine and I was like, I'm gonna post this online and they're like, you should make that into a single because it's good. So I was like, will do.
And
I'm not
has there
saying it's good, but I think it's good. Actually, yes, I am saying it's good.
That's what we like to hear, that you feel you're very satisfied with your final product.
I wouldn't put anything out that I didn't like, but no, but honestly, so for me, the song came from that. And I don't normally really talk very much about why I've written songs, but I feel like I want to talk about what this song came from because I'm hoping it will give other people and other women um like the I hope it's like a bit empowering that they feel they can actually speak up for themselves, which is very difficult for me to do for myself more than it would be to stand up for somebody
Yeah.
else.
And shows it like raising self-awareness at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the lyrics and the song, I think what I'm trying to point out is like it should be pretty obvious not to do certain things, but if it's not, then maybe think about what things I might be speaking about.
Hmm. And has there been like a music video or a lyric video for this song as well?
There is a music video. There's a music video, and there's going to be another music video actually that I'm currently in the middle of editing. There's a music video that came out of me dancing around a museum, which is which I thought was fitting for the song as well, because like probably you maybe shouldn't be doing that. But it's quite, yeah. So there's a music video out now, which I think is
Hmm.
quite fun. Please give it a look. It's me dancing around a room with a lot of
Hmm.
giant instruments. And yeah, there will be another music video, which I don't want to say what it is yet, but stay tuned if you're interested and check out the socials or my mailing list because it'll
Hmm.
be out there on YouTube or whatever.
Had a quick glance on your one of your streaming pages, and I come across a banner. It's like a picture of you where you're surrounded by your milk cartons in a supermarket. Would you say would you say you're quite what's the word you like ideas like that, random in a way?
Well, I was trying to figure out a way to show, I was trying to figure out what artwork I could make that would go along with the lyrics in the single. And so I was just thinking, and also be a good image. And so I thought drinking out of a bottle of milk in the supermarket kind of goes in line with the lyrics. And yeah, but now everybody just thinks I really like milk, and I feel pretty neutral about milk. But anyway, no, I so that's why the milk thing, but I've had to go with it now because it's the cover of the single.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was really good actually.
Thank you.
Um, I mean, this is a random question, but do you like milkshakes? Do you?
Milkshakes. I do like milkshakes. Did England, I think they did. Did you have Woolworths in England?
That's right. Yeah, we did.
So we had it as well in New York. And when the Woolworths near my house closed, my father bought the old milkshake machine from the diner. And so we had that in our house. We had some very professional milkshakes at home.
Nice. What's your favorite?
I like coffee ice cream milkshake.
Oh,
How about
nice.
you?
Yeah, I like the chocolate mint, but you can never find them.
That would be good. I've never had a chocolate I've chocolate mint
Yeah,
milkshake.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. They're
Maybe I
quite hard
will.
to find. They're out there somewhere. Brilliant. Yeah, sometimes nice just to throw in a question there. But back to music. So you mentioned there's a video, or will be a video for the thrill of it. And one of your other songs doing really well for you is Happy 18 Years. Is
Oh,
that?
18 years.
Yes, 18 years. Would you say that's quite a happy song, or would you say it's a personal favorite?
So that's from my last record that only came out about 6 months ago. The record is called I Thought It Would Be Easier. And I am really proud of that whole record. 18 years, I would say I don't tend to write the happiest of songs. So no, I wouldn't call it a happy
Hmm.
song. No, but I do like it. And people seem to listen to it, which is
Yes,
nice.
that's the main
My
thing. If
friend
you,
Polly Pelisma is singing on it. And she actually just put a record out on Friday, which is wonderful, which if I'm allowed to say, like it's called Wildfires. Now I'm get really nervous about names of things because I don't want to say things wrong, but I'm sure that's sorry. It is called yeah, Wildfires. I was right. And it's
right.
really great. Sorry, Paul, if you heard that and I got it wrong and then played my song.
And then you mentioned it's from an album called I Thought It Would Be Easier, which
Yes.
features a collection of 12 songs. And do you enjoy performing this live still?
I do actually, yeah. So I never had one of those songs that's like, hey, everyone, do you want to sing along with me? But now I do because 18 years is that song. So that's fun. And people tend to sing along to it and it works well. And I do enjoy playing it. So
Wow.
long as I don't start it too fast. Otherwise, it's very hard to sing.
So would it be fair to say it's become a little bit of a signature tune to your fans?
I don't know,
Oh.
but maybe I don't think I've thought about my stuff that way, but I think it's nice when people like songs.
Yeah, like sing with it, sing along with it, or sing it back to you. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that the people that are singing it have ever heard it before that night, but hopefully they'll remember it after that
Yeah,
night.
that's right. That's how
Yeah,
people listen to the songs. They get to know. You got to listen to a song first to acquaint yourself to it. Otherwise, you will never know it, will you?
right, true.
Another track you released previously is called "Dance We Do" as well.
So that's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And it's about when you aren't really sure kind of how you feel about someone or how they feel about you.
That makes sense. And how does it feel to receive, like positive feedback or testimonials regarding your music and feature on national radio stations and playlists?
Well, it's really nice. I think it's really awesome when anybody likes the song. Like if I get even like a message from someone, it's nice that they've taken the time to listen to the song and then to take the time to say they like it. But of course, I'm really happy if it gets, any radio play or any national radio play is of course really very nice. Yeah, it's nice to have the work heard and acknowledged is feels good.
That's great. And would you say you're just a little bit of a storyteller, when you're writing lyrics, to your songs?
I think that they are not pardon me. They are storytelling, I think, yes.
Amazing. And you've
Except for
shared
the thrill of it,
the
which is
thrill of
like
it.
a list.
You share the stage as well with Badly Drawn Boy, and you're on a forthcoming tour or present tour with Danny and the Champions of the World. Well, what are you most looking forward to this tour this time round?
Well, I think it's going to be really fun. Danny and those guys are all really nice and very good. And the shows, we're doing 16 shows together and going to be in a van. So I think, yeah, it'll be an adventure. And I'm looking forward to playing and I'm looking forward to hearing them play. And they're just really nice people and really talented musicians. So it should be a good time. So
And
yeah.
And behind me, this is the city of Birmingham. You come into Birmingham on the Sunday, the 16th of March, which is the day before St. Patrick's Day. That should be a good night. The Hare and Hounds.
Yeah.
And that's quite an iconic venue in itself.
I've not actually played that venue. I often play across the street in the kitchen garden, which I also really like. So I'll wave at I'll pop in maybe to the kitchen garden, say hi. But yeah, no, it's a nice little street, and I've heard Hare and Hounds is awesome. So I'm excited to play there as well.
Nice. And also, your main act at the Grace in London. That's 8th of November on the Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm really looking forward to playing that.
Nice. And talking about, like testimonials as well, you were shortlisted for Female Artist of the Year in 2020 by Fatia magazine, if I pronounce that right.
I think you pronounced it right. And yes, I was, which was really nice. And from that, the two people that were in my category, we've all kept in touch. I did not win, but we've all kept in touch, and they're great musicians. It was me, I believe it was me, Lizzie Hardingham, and Charlie Dorr.
And you got your tour currently at the moment. And where can people just find out, where the tour dates to come and see you at a town near them?
So just on my website, which is anniedressner.com. So it's Annie, Annie, Dressner, Dressner.com. And all the dates are listed there.
Great. Well, I think that's everything I wanted to ask you on today's interview. Thanks for answering my questions openly and concisely. And what's for me to really do is play one of your singles on the show. Which song would you like me to play
I
afterward?
think for the thrill of it, since it's the one that is the latest single, would be great, please.
No worries. We'll get that on the airwaves now. My special guest on today's show, that was Annie Dressner joining me. Thanks for your contribution on today's show and have a great tour and rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Danny.
No problem. You're welcome.